Hey everybody, Kaitan's here, and I have Chinese food. Do you guys like Chinese food? Man, I love Chinese food. And apparently so does Lenneth. Lenneth, get down. No, you can't eat that. It's probably one of your cousins anyways. No. Alright, I'll give you a treat in a minute. Just let me do this. Anyways, guys. Last time we acquired some magicite, so let's take a look at that and see how that's gonna benefit us. What you want to do, I've already equipped some stuff off screen on my trip back here, by the way. So what you want to do with magicite is go to your skill menu for a character, and at the top choose Espers. Espers are essentially the summons in this game. You equip them on a character and you can use them in battle to summon an Esper for various effects, ranging from healing to damage to buffs or things like that. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that you can only summon them once per battle, so you can't just sit there and spam Bahamut over and over and over again. No, it doesn't work like that. So what you want to do is pick an Esper that you want, and at the top you can see a little description of what happens when you summon them, and you just double click. If you want to unequip it, just pick a blank spot, or you can switch it with another one. Now, equipping Espers on a character allows you to learn magic. Now, all characters essentially can learn spells, so that can be pretty nice. But I'll go over that in more detail in just a second. Now, each Esper will teach you a different set of spells. Ramu, for instance, will teach us Bolt, Bolt 2, and Poison. Now, basically how this functions is after battle now, we're going to start getting magic points or ability points, depending on your translation. And what that means is for every one ability point you get, you will get a certain amount of percentage in learning the skill. Take a look at the Bolt spell here. You can see it has a learn rate of times 10. That means for every one magic point you get, Bolt will go up by 10%. When Bolt gets to a 100%, Cyan will learn the Bolt spell. Different Espers have different learning rates for different spells. If a spell is hard to learn now, like Bolt 2, is only a times 2 learning rate, that means you need 50 magic points, because 50 times 2 is 100. And if you don't want to grind for that, you can wait till later, and you might have a better option of learning Bolt 2, and so on and so forth. The other thing about Espers is if you have them equipped and you gain a level, you can increase your stats permanently. This is not a good example because stamina is kind of useless. Let's see. Stray. At level up, you get magic power +1. That may seem like a small amount, but over the course of the game, that can be huge. In fact, that's going to be our main source of power, even more so than weapons or equipment. And things like that is how you manage your stat building for each character. Now, one other thing to go over is that there are 3 different types of magics. You might have already seen this with Terra and Celis, excuse me. But you have white magic, which is essentially your heals, your revives, antidote, regen, stuff like that. And then you have support magic, which are things like scan, buffs, debuffs, imp, confuse, berserk, stuff like that. And then of course you have your black magic, fire, bolt, bolt 2, poison, flare. So there you are. Now for the purpose of this LP, I'm not going to grind out every spell for every character because that makes every character the same. So I will be teaching, the bare essentials to the non-magic users, things like Cure, Cure 2, maybe a couple of the level 1 or 2 elemental spells, but I'm not going to go out of my way to teach everything to everybody. I'm going to try to keep the characters as unique as possible. That being said, the mages like Celis and Terra and a couple other characters later on, they will be my mages, so I will be teaching them all of the spells. Because, well, that's their main function, is to cast spells and be mages and do things of that nature, so I'll be doing that. As far as how I'm going to level up my stats with each character, for right now it's not too important. I gave Ramu to Cyan just so he can learn stamina, or gain some stamina. I gave Siren to Locke so he can get some HP, or max HP, because that'll be important later on in the game. I have a plan for Locke, for a certain courageous weapon, if you know what I'm talking about, guys. Now, one thing to keep in mind about Espers that increase your max HP or MP by a certain percentage, it's not a percentage of your current max HP. It is a percentage of the HP that you gain when you level up. For example, if I hit level 14 and Locke would gain 50 HP, well, he would instead gain 55 HP, because he would gain an extra 10% on top of the 50. He wouldn't gain 10% of 353. That would just be broken and obscene. Not like this game allows us to not become obscenely powerful and break the game anyways, but I guess they try to keep things balanced somewhat. So yeah, that's essentially how Magicite works in Final Fantasy VI. If you guys have any questions or comments, let me know. I'll be sure to go over them. I have a pretty good reply rate. If you leave me a message either here or on Facebook, I try to get back to you within 24 or 48 hours, depending on my schedule. So, don't be afraid to, speak your mind. It's what I encourage. So anyways, here we are in Jador. We need to find a way to get to the Empire. As Celis mentioned, no boats will go there, so we'll talk to you in a second. Who, Cyan? He doesn't look like a Maria. Oh, he's talking about Celis. Okay. Well, what's going on? You're not going to tell us, are you? Okay, that's rather strange. Well, let's keep talking to some people. Maybe we can find a way to get there. Nice pose, Cyan. It's awfully feminine of you. Hey, this guy dropped a letter. Why is that in capital letters? I don't know. That person dropped it off. Oh, he's the director of the Opera House. There's that word again, impresario. You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means. The Wandering Gambler. Ferris? No. You born on a farm, son? That looks like an airship. Yeah, that could come in handy. A blackjack playing, world-traveling, casino-dwelling, free spirit. This is Setzer. Alka-Seltzer? No, just Setzer. He kinda sucks. I'll be honest with you guys right now. The unique thing about Setzer, though, is that his character design was originally planned to be Ferris's design in Final Fantasy V. However, the developers said, a wandering gambler just doesn't fit in this world. So they scrapped the idea and made her a pirate instead, and used the idea for Setzer instead. And if you look at artwork for Ferris and Setzer, you can see a lot of resemblances. I thought that was kind of cool. But apparently he's the owner of the world's only airship. Yeah, we need to get in contact with this guy. Alright, let's do it. Looks like our next stop is the Opera House. This is such a cool part in the game. If you've heard of this game, you've probably heard of the Opera House scene. It's one of the more epic moments in RPG history. And we could take a chocobo, but it's a short walk, and besides, I want to show off, oh, I guess I could go over my setup here. Whoops. Want to show off how Magicite works in battle. So here we get experience, and here we get a magic point. Alright. By the way, the most magic points you can gain after battle is 10. So, just to keep that in mind. If you're like, man, I'm only getting like 3 or 4, this sucks. You know, 3 or 4 is actually pretty good. Let's show off an Esper. Oh yeah, every character now has a magic command, whether they know a spell or not. Go to the very top and press up, and you can select your Esper. Kieran, that just gives us regen, which is kind of useless, but here's Rambo. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Cyan, you suck. No, actually, summoning an Esper, as you might have guessed, is directly dependent on your magic stat. Cyan's magic stat being horrible, his magic is going to do horrible damage in comparison to, say, Celis or Terra. And Espers cost a lot of MP. I think they cost like 25. Yeah, 25 to summon Ramboom. And that is one thing the Espers suffer from in this game, is that they are not cost efficient at all for the damage they do. They are almost completely worthless. Oh well. That's something that I would have liked to have seen been changed in the iOS version of the game. Had it been an actual, honest remake, not a half-assed remake like Square Enix gave us. He said climax. Yeah, that's another rant for another time, viewers. So it looks like this guy plans on crashing the opera. Alright. It's pretty ballsy of you, Setzer. Yeah, there is that. Looks like you need to roll the hard 6. Yeah, that was a pretty bad gambling joke. Huh? Well, what are you gonna do, Locke? I guess it's too late to go over my setup. Nuts. Well, I basically have the same setup as I did before. Genji Glove on Locke, Atlas Armlet and Sprint Shoes on Cyan, Hero Ring and Earrings on Edgar. And they all have the best armor available from Jador, with green berets all around. So, there you are. Nothing too fancy. Wait a minute. Celis can't sing. You can't expect her to play a part in the opera. Now you're just talking crazy, Locke. Brilliant! Opera floozy. So then, why are you going... Never mind, I won't ask. I like that line though. I'm a general, not some opera floozy. Do you guys remember the Do Re Mi song from like music class back in elementary school? You know, it's like do, a deer, a female deer, you know, so on and so forth down the line. I hated that song. I hated music class in general. Ultros, what are you doing here? Oh, don't get me wrong, I love music. In fact, I was in band for 3 years, but, you know, back then I liked learning about music. I didn't like the whole singing and square dancing and crap like that. You know, just put on Amadeus, let us watch that, and teach us about music and stuff. Don't make us sing. Anyways, looks like we have Ultros here, and he's gonna... What is he gonna do anyways? We'll have to find out next time. Until then, you guys have a good day, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.